Hey, hello, hi. So right now I'm gonna play a clip from last year's video that I had recorded for myself. As I said that I have a few vlogs, and one of them I recorded on 14 Feb. And in this clip, I talk about the song Bulleya, and I just want to give a few warning before starting the putting the video, because if you can see from the video, I'm extremely amateurish at this. I do not know how to speak at all. I would say that I'm amateurish right now too, but at least I would say I'm somewhat better than I was back then. So a lot of it could just sound coherent, incoherent, and there's a lot of background noise from the this, and I think there would be in this one too. I just don't know how noise cancellation kind of works. But I also I don't know a lot about the song itself. As you can see, I don't even remember the song or the lyrics I'm talking about. I just wanted to use that song because it sparked a tangent in my head and I talk about it. And even in that thing, I don't say a lot of things that I speak in a way where the other person knows what homeostasis is or what Albert Camus is talking about. So once we are done with the clip, I think I'll dissect everything that I say in that, and also what I think about the song 1 year later, because I have a lot to think, I have a lot to say, and I have thought a lot about it. So I just thought that it would be cool to insert the clip about where it all started really. And so yeah, enjoy it. I'll meet you after the clip. That's the thing. Anyways, the main thing that I wanted to come and discuss here was the concept of, okay, so in the morning I was listening to this song. It's from मैं भी नाचू or whatever, I forgot the name, but basically there is one line कि माना अपना इश्क अधूरा and something I forgot the beach word, but basically अधूरा है पूरा होके खत्म हुआ जो भी जिंदा है वो अधूरा है. And that traces back to the concept of, okay, the first week of Jha, that was 5 years, exactly 5 years ago from now. I remember this stuff about reading about homeostasis. Homeostasis, the clinical definition of homeostasis is the process. So what I really like this concept about dynamic equilibrium. So basically in chemistry we learn that everything in the world goes back in a state of equilibrium. That's just how it is. Everything will end when the system reaches equilibrium. Equilibrium is when both the sides have equal amount of energy. And then dynamic equilibrium is that our body is in a constant state of inequilibrium. So basically our body is trying to do everything to be in a constant state of chaos. It is organized chaos. Everything, and that just made me realize, fuck, everything around us, the basic fundamental forces of nature are forcing you to be at equilibrium, and your body is not doing that. It knows that if it goes to the equilibrium, if it submits to the force of nature, then it will end, it will die. What it is will not be it anymore. Like once you are at equilibrium, you will not be you anymore, and your body is fighting so fucking hard at all times to maintain a sense of constant chaos. Why can't you do the same? Why can't you, if your body can do everything in its power to resist and not give in to the forces of nature, what's making you give it in? Why can't you also, okay, there is this trope, right? Ki, oh, if someone was there out there who would fight for me with their life, fight for me with everything they've got, maybe I won't kill myself, even though life is meaningless or even though there is nothing to live for. It's your own body. You have everything in your body. Each and every system is trying to, your heart beats the blood overall when it can just gravitate towards the ground and find a stable position. Why is it going against gravity? Why is your body disobeying laws of thermodynamics? Well, they're not technically disobeying, but why are they trying so hard to resist what's natural? That's what life is. To not give in, to resist, to revolt. That's what Albert Camus is talking about. So okay, yeah. So that's basically what I was trying to say. Ki you have at any time, that no time do you have any reason to give up or give in into the forces of nature, emotionally, mentally, physically, or by killing yourself. But yeah, that's about it. That's what I wanted to say. Now that we're done with the video, I would like to talk about the song itself. So I think the context about the movie is slightly important for this song. So Sultan is a movie in which stars Salman Khan and Anushka Sharma. It's about a guy who is a wrestler who is not anything in the beginning. He just wants to impress this one woman, and so he tries wrestling and he wins a lot, and that kind of boosts his ego, and they get married and they have a son. She's pregnant with their son, and then she wanted him to be there for the delivery, and then he was not there because he had a match and he chose the match over her, and then he went there, and she gives birth to him. And so Sultan had a very rare blood group, and the woman gives birth to him, the baby, with that blood group. And it required a blood transfusion, and he was not there to give it, so the kid dies. And then she blames him for the death of their child, rightfully so, maybe, mostly. But so from there he is mad at him, and then tab se they kind of like separate, and they're living by themselves. So this song starts from here, where he realizes his mistake, and he kind of the what he did wrong here. And then this is him trying to get back to her, really. And so the song is based, like the lyrics itself are based on this one Sufi poet called Bulleya, who, like, obviously that's why the song's name is Bulleya. And Bulleya was a Sufi poet who believed that the way to he talked about love in a very religious way, where it was not about love between two partners, but it was about love between himself and God. And he had this idea that to get to that love, or to have the complete manifestation of that love, you need to die. Death is not just parting your earthly plane self, it's also a union with God, and in the most truest form, or the most fullest form there can be. So this song kind of has a lot of elements of that in it. So it starts with, obviously, कुछ रिश्तों का नमक ही दूरी होता है, नाम लेना भी, ना मिलना भी ज़रूरी होता है. And when I heard it for the first time, it sounded like नाम लेना भी बहुत ज़रूरी होता है. So I had this mistranslation in my head for the longest time, where it says that some relationships, their base or their salt really is the distance. Like, some relationships are defined by how far away they are from each other, and not only the bad things but also the good things are defined by the distance, really. And so the actual lyric is that na milna bhi zaruri hota hai, so not meeting is also important, which obviously sounds like slight copium, because it probably is, but it's also kind of beautiful in that way. And when I heard it for the first time, I thought it was ki naam lena bhi bahut zaruri hota hai. So I thought it's like we need to address the fact that there is distance, we need to address the fact that there is a relationship, and we also need to address the fact that it is important to factor in the distance in the goods and the bads. But again, that was not the meaning. But this is also, I think, the death of the author, and the other things I'm going to talk about later on in the podcast. But coming back to the song, obviously, lyric by lyric, is extremely well written and well composed. You can hear the regret or the pain in the singer's voice. You can also see it on Salman Khan's face. He goes there every day, and he stands in front of this one dargah where Anushka Sharma's character, goes there to pray every day. And every day she walks past him, and every day you can see the expression on his face go from happiness of being able to see her to sadness of just her ignoring him. And there's this one lyric in this song, where it goes that it talks about कि पर ये मत कहना, अरे ओ पगले, मुझे देखना तू मेरा नाम न ले. So it says देख and na are two different words. कि it's so the actual translation is that don't say this to me, that you should not look at me, and you should not take my name. Which makes sense, because obviously this is very in line with Sultan's character, where he would hate for her to say that you are not allowed to see me, the way he sees her every day at Dargah, because obviously he loves her, and that's what he would want to do. At least if that is the only capacity he can have her in his life, then he would want that. And taking it away from him would be a great disservice to whatever he is as a character. So him wishing that is very natural to him. But when I heard this song for the first time or a few times, I always used to hear it as ki I thought ki the dekh na were together. So I thought the actual lyric was that पर ये मत कहना, अरे ओ पगले, मुझे देखना तू मेरा नाम ना ले. So I thought it says कि मुझे देखना तू. So it says कि I thought it said कि you can see me, you can observe me, but you should not take my name, because obviously you're not allowed to. And I thought that would be a greater curse or a greater punishment to him. Because imagine having something in your field of vision, having something that you observe, look at something daily, but you're not allowed, and something that obviously means a lot to you. And I say something, I meant this in a very this object of affection way. I'm not saying that she is something, but I'm saying that even like anything that is an abstract concept in the periphery of your vision, not just physically but also mentally, by being there, by dekhna, it is observing, so thinking about it, having it in your headspace. So imagine having something in your headspace but you're not allowed to express it, you're not allowed to talk about it, with it, or at it. And I think that would have been a greater curse, and that's why he was like, "Don't say that. Don't say that. I can see you, but I can't talk about you." But obviously, that was what Bulesha went for. Bulesha did not think about this in a very selfish way, where he would have an issue with not being able to say something, but and like not observing. So like he didn't have the thing about out of sight, out of mind. He did not think about mental peace in that way. It was a very unconditional kind of love. It was a very unconditional feeling in him, that at least let me watch you. That's the least I can do. At least let me speak of you. If that's not, then let me watch you if I can't speak to you. And I think that is also beautiful, where kind of my views about, I guess, Sufism, love, devotion, faith kind of parted from Bulesha back then. But now I don't know if I fully agree with it, or his version or my version, but I think it is somewhere in the middle. And now we come to the main part, like uh, when I talk about the lyric that talk in the main song कि माना अपना इश्क अधूरा दिल ना इस पे शर्मिंदा है पूरा होके खत्म हुआ जो जो है आधा वो ही जिंदा है. And yes, so I talk about homeostasis. Homeostasis kind of means that there are cells in your body that maintain you need a certain level of sodium in your blood, sodium in your cells. You need certain level of potassium in your blood, potassium in your cells. So your body is constantly fighting against the flow of these ions in their natural state. Obviously, sodium is going to go from higher state to a lower state, and potassium is going to go from a higher state to a lower state. But your body is fighting it. Your body is working against it, because it doesn't want that to happen, because that is the only way you're going to stay alive. So it's kind of fighting against it, and that's why it's adhura. So jo hai aadha wo hi zinda hai. Since it is not reaching that equilibrium, that's why your body is alive. And that is also the revolt thing. And that also kind of works very perfectly in line of the song. I didn't know it back then, but now I know that if you listen to the all of the lyrics, the normal lyrics are ki, I don't know if this is, sorry for the interruption. There was a really loud bike going on in the background, and it did not sound well, so I decided to cut that part. So anyways, I talk about that. The normal lyrics are obviously that they talk about ki this love, this association that we have between the two of us, it is not serving me well. It is not serving either of us really well, because you look at both the characters. Both of the characters are quite unhappy and non-satisfied in this situation that they are in. So it always sounds like Sultan is on the verge of saying that, oh, it would be just better if we were better off by away from each other. And but every time the chorus rolls in, you can hear him be again like it doesn't matter, like, because I will sing, I will rejoice in the trance of our love, I will be the Bulesha. Just give me one indication to do so. Just tell me once, just once, really. Even if you tell me once, and I'll be yours, I'll be the Bulesha, I'll be like dancing in the trance of our love. And I think that is what Sufism is to Bulesha. uh, but apart from that, again, I do not want to put this thing of it, but there's this one scene from the music video that I extremely love, and I just can't get over it because of how good it is. Wait. It's a magnificent. Obviously, not a lot happens in the scene, but the context is that he's just coming there to take the mitti there, the soil. So the soil in which the wrestlers wrestle is very kind of holy to them. So he was there to take a sample of it, because obviously he's training for his next fight, whatever it is. And he comes there. He comes there to the wrestling arena where they used to practice before, and then she looks at him. She realizes what he is doing, and then she looks at him with a sense of disgust, disapproval, and he looks at it, he looks at her, he acknowledges it, and he's like, yeah, that makes sense. So he does not take the soil and then goes back. And I think that kind of defines Sultan's character arc in that moment. That look of acknowledgement. He knows that she is disgusted by him, he knows that she does not approves of this, and he knows that she's not going to say anything about it, because it would, like, to say something about it would also imply a certain sense of attachment, and I think she does not want to have it or show it in that moment. And so he just complies to what she would have wanted to do if she came off as which she's not doing, because she wants to come off as detached. So he just leaves that arena, he leaves that soil behind. And I kind of talk about death and revolt and the dynamic in equilibrium. And I also talk about, like Bulleya talks about how death is what brings the love together, or the for the unison or the unity of the two, death is important. And in the character arc of the movie, the old Sultan, or the Sultan that was egoistical and unserious about his life, and in general very conditional in that sense, he kind of dies, and that death is what brings him and Anushka Sharma's character together, or it would have brought them together, is where this movie should go essentially. But this music video, that's all I want to talk about. The music video, it's a really good music video, and the song itself is really good, and it got me through some tough times, and I will forever be grateful for the song, and obviously its companionship with me throughout the year. So yes, that was about it. This is kind of a cluttered video, but I wanted to talk about this for a long time. But yeah, think well. Bye.